Don in London, hello, November 4th, 2009. My video is all about recovery from addiction to either substance or behaviour. My addictive substance, alcohol, my behaviour. Trying to be whatever I thought you wanted me to be, or trying to be the person I thought I ought to be, rather than being the person I could be. And these days, just gently, one day at a time, I'm learning how to be me. So, what's the difference? In the old days, I used to be dependent upon something to take the edge off, to help me be convivial and be a part of, to be included as I thought I ought. And that was alcohol, and it took me on a journey for 35 years and more into places which were probably not of my choosing, had I known better. But the trouble is, when we are growing up, we only know what we know. So from that first drink, which made me feel a little bit happier, a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more sleepy, a little bit more joyful, I don't know, it was there that the trouble started, that I had to rely on something else. And I never knew what was going on, really, deep inside me, because it helped me suppress those feelings of fear, helped me put on a brave face, and maybe use my ego too much to get by, because that's what I saw other people do. So what's the difference today? Well, having gone through from dependency to addiction with alcohol, and probably cross-addicted into any sort of behaviour you can imagine to do with work, relationships, trying to keep well, health, sport, gym, you name it, food, all of those things, they were there, and they filled a gap inside, and I never knew what that gap was. And then I realised the actual gap inside is to be filled with good things, which we learn as we go along in life. So often our choices, based on our fears, can lead us into places which are not so helpful. And often we are asked to overcome fear in order to keep on going. Feel the fear and do it anyway. And actually, that's probably a good thing when we're trying to overcome fear of ordinary living. And we get better at it a day at a time if we get a chance. And for me, I had to go through a long period of doing things because I thought I ought, and then finding that I need only do the things and get the choices back based on what I can and cannot do, and there is acceptance in that. So why and how did I get into recovery one day at a time? People kept me going long enough to see the error of my ways, if you like. Family, community, professionals kept me alive, even though I could not stop drinking, and they couldn't stop me. And then I found there was a simple answer: I cannot do it on my own. And I encountered the fellowship of AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, and it works for me, but it doesn't necessarily work for anyone and everyone, but it works for me. So I share about it here, and it's part of my daily meditation, if you like, to share experience, strength and hope. I don't speak for AA, never can, never will. It's full of unique, authentic people. There is a preamble shared at the beginning of every meeting, or a statement of intent, and it goes like this. Alcoholics Anonymous is a fellowship of men and women who share their experience, strength and hope with each other, that they may solve their common problem and help others to recover from alcoholism. The only requirement for membership is the desire to stop drinking. There are no dues or fees for AA membership. We are self-supporting through our own contributions. AA is not allied with any sect, denomination, politics, organisation or institution. It does not wish to engage in any controversy, neither endorses nor opposes any causes. Our primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety. So although I say it's not for everyone, and there are other ways to keep sober, this way works for me because it means I'm part of something, a fellowship. I found inclusion, how to love, be loved back, and have something useful to do, which meant that I was sober. And being sober, I could then be able to relate to family, friends, community, and the world around me in a sort of ordinary way, equal, not bigger, not smaller than anybody else. And I go to meetings of AA, and I went to a great one last night. Excuse me, I've caught a cold. And the meeting last night, it's a small intimate one down off the King's Road, and there are only 22 chairs, but it wasn't full last night, which is okay. And a great share by somebody I cannot name, but the sharing was good, and I learned a lot about what it's like for somebody very new to somebody who's got a few years under their belt, about how it is to find life one day at a time. So if we keep in that time frame of one day, we have a fighting chance. And not a fighting chance, just a living opportunity, maybe. And I smile when I say that, I'm just playing with the words. Fighting chance or living opportunity. It's our attitude which matters, and what the fellowship has done has helped me change my attitude and behaviour on a daily basis. There are 12 steps of action in the action programme, and this month is all about prayer and meditation. And step 11, the 11th month, in the daily reflections, this book, it really covers in a general way what prayer and meditation can do for us, whether you believe in God or don't believe in God. Prayer and meditation, especially meditation, gives us access to that spiritual connection of living, which is in the moment of now. And when it says, excuse me, in step 11, sought through prayer and meditation to improve our conscious contact with God as we understood him, it means the God of your understanding, or simply good conscience, praying only for knowledge of his will for us and the power to carry that out. And the power to carry it out is to live our lives in the moment of now. And it's taken me a long time to actually realise that I can do that without the accessory of a drug or alcohol or a particular behaviour to fix the hole inside me. So I'm grateful. And the daily reflections for today, it says here, focusing, and that's yesterday's, a daily discipline for November the 4th. When they say self-examination, meditation and prayer are logically related and interwoven, the result is an unshakable foundation for life. The last 3 steps of the programme invoke God's loving discipline upon my willful nature, or my good conscience over my willful nature, providing it's good, of course. If I devote a few moments every night to a review of the highlights of my day, along with acknowledgement of those aspects that didn't please me so much, I gain a personal history of myself, one that is essential to my journey in self-discovery. I was able to note my growth, or lack of it, and to ask in prayerful meditation to be relieved of those continuing shortcomings that cause me pain, and my shortcomings, not enough courage, not enough faith, not enough confidence. Meditation and prayer also teach me the art of focusing and listening. I find that the turmoil of the day gets tuned out as I pray for his will and guidance. The practice of asking him, or good conscience, to help me in my strivings for perfection puts a new slant on the tedium of any day, because I know there is honour in any job done well. The daily discipline of prayer and meditation will keep me in fit spiritual condition, able to face whatever the day brings, without the thought of a drink. And what good news that is for me. I don't like the thought of a drink, especially, when you've got a cold, you think, well, what can I do? And to get a medication off the shelf in a pharmacy or a chemist, which says on the packet, don't exceed this dosage and you'll be all right. And I got some, and it's worked to an extent, and I don't have that desire to have another and another and another, which is unusual for somebody who used to be addicted to anything to change the way I felt. So how do I feel this morning? Full of cold, but that's okay. So, daily reflections, prayer and meditation, taking an inventory, and then sharing a message, the keys, if you like, to living in the day. What a gift. And that acceptance prayer, which I never really understood for 35 years, to accept. And it goes like this: God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference is simply for today. And the gift, it is simply just for today.